Hello everyone, it's Captain Klaus from FS Flyboys, and welcome back to FSX for my second video today. First one, as I did yesterday, was with the Cessna 172, and today we're going to go a little bit faster and a little bit further. We're going to go with the Beechcraft Super King Air 350, and you guys can hear there's some thunder going on in the background. Well, I don't know why the weather's currently that way right now, because it is not doing that here in Kalispell, and we are at Kalispell City Airport again, as you may have noticed. And we're going to be doing a GPS guided flight to Babb, Montana, which is north of St. Mary's Lake in Glacier Park. So it's going to be about a 20-minute flight or so to get up there, and we're just going to fly GPS direct. So I hope you guys enjoy, and just like always, going to do a visual inspection here. Make sure our controls are responding the way we want them to. And looking good there. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in the cockpit and get in our way. So here we are in the cockpit, guys, and this time I just headed in there rather than using my view changer. You can see there's some flashes of lightning every so often. I'm not sure why we got a thunderstorm over right now, because it is sunny blue sky right now, and couldn't be better. Temperatures in the 90s, so it's gonna be a pretty good day. It's gonna be a pretty good day out there. So let's go ahead and get the avionics fired up here, and then we'll turn on our generators, and let's turn on the battery. Just get the aircraft fired up. Go ahead and turn on our beacon. Beacon lights are on. And a little bit more involved here as far as controls and avionics go for this aircraft versus the Cessna. So let's go ahead and let's bring up our IFR panel here. We're going to go and turn on, let's see, hit our prop sync. Leave those off for now. Turn on our auto feather. Temperature's 90 right now, as you can see right there. We're not going to be doing any VOR flying like we did in the last video. That's just strictly going to be GPS guided routes. We're going to fly direct, and we're going to go and turn on our flight director. These are ADIs offline that will come online when the engines spool up. And I noticed in the last video there's some audio distortion in there. If anybody could tell me how to fix that, that would be great. But it's not too bad. I've had already one comment already that said it wasn't very annoying, didn't really destroy the video quality very much. So we'll just go ahead and leave it at that for now. But if I can get that fixed, that'd be great. So we're going to go and set our altimeter up to, I think we're going to climb to 12,000, actually 11,500. Let me just go ahead and check our minimum obstacle clearance, excuse me, on SkyVector. Looks like heading up towards St. Mary is our minimum. We're going to be flying direct. It's going to be 10,800, so we're going to be about 700 feet over the peaks of those mountains. So this is definitely the type of aircraft you want to fly up there, because it's very fast and has great power, so you don't have to worry about stalling out. So with that in mind, let's just see what we got going on here. Everything looks good there. I don't see any fuel pump switches at all, but I don't think we have to worry about that. So we're going to go ahead and program our GPS route in here. So we're going to bring up the GPS, and we're going to hit direct waypoint. Hit 2 back on this one. Actually, is it forward? Let's see, that's to select the main airport. Here we go. Okay, so the code for Babb is going to be 49 Sierra. And we're going to click enter to select it and activate. 53 nautical miles. Okay, so we'll go ahead and zoom out here. We're not flying via FCA radial, although we could if we so choose. And you can see that's where we're flying to. That's Lake McDonald right there, and St. Mary's Lake is right here, and we're just flying up to the north of that. Alright, so their GPS route plugged in. I'm going to go and check our caution warning lights here. It's telling me, am I right DC generator's on, left DC generator? Yep, that's correct. Okay. And we got low fuel pressure warning because the engines are off. That's nothing to worry about. Alright, so this time we're going to close our main exit. And the prop sync is turned on. We're going to flex our controls in here. Looking good. Alright, awesome. And we're going to go ahead and set our flaps at position 1. Thought there were 3 positions, but I guess we'll go position 1 for takeoff. Prop controls are all the way back. And we're going to go ahead and turn the rest of our lights on here. So we're going to turn strobes, nav, which turns the panel lights on, and we'll turn the rest of those on before we get out there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and release the parking brake and push back to the right, just like we did in the last video. And the King Air 350 uses a turboprop engine, so they've got lots of power. And our rotation speed is going to be about 123 knots. So at this point we're going to go ahead and stop the push. Hold here, set our parking brake. You don't have to push the brakes to set the parking brake. I just want to make sure the aircraft wasn't moving. You can see, I think I saw a lightning strike over here on those clouds, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start the engines up here. We're going to bring up the throttle quadrant and hit the starter for number 1. Move it up to about there. And engine 1 is spooling up. Alright, looking good. Dial's coming alive. There goes the ADI. It's coming online. Alright. I'll turn our starter off. Let's move this over. And starting 2. Want to set those about as even as possible. That looks pretty good. Now our props are fully feathered, so they're not making any pitch right now, but we're going to set those up to full pitch. Alright. And we actually do have reverse thrust on this, surprisingly. The Cessna 208 Caravan has that, but I did not realize this one has it too, so very cool. So our current altimeter is 2904. And we have our GPS control. We have it switched over to GPS instead of navigation, GPS. And I would say we are ready to go. So with our flaps set, we're going to go ahead and, since we're right here, we're just going to turn on all our lights. Oops, don't need to move that. And all lights are on, so we're going to go ahead. Got our landing lights on and all that, so good to go. And release parking brake. Move myself up just a little bit there. And we're going to go and taxi over here to runway 13. Alright, taxi out to the runway. Just going to go ahead and center real quick my viewpoint. Alright. And I'd say at this point we are ready to go. And looks like we're going to go here and run on throttle up. Prop controls are full and we are on the way. There's full power. Airspeed is alive. 80 knots. Approaching minimums. V1. Rotating. altitude. And there we go. Positive brake, gear up. And yes, this one does have retracts. Flaps up. And we're going to go ahead and turn on the navigation control, which is going to fly the aircraft now along the navigational. Turn on the altitude hold and hit the autopilot. Still a little bit of backstick and releasing pressure, and we are out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my taxi lights. I don't need those on. But we're going to leave the landing lights on. I can disengage my right starter. And other than that, we are good to go. GPS is saying we are 51.7 nautical miles out from Bab at this point. We're flying about just under 220 knots right now, so we gotta be careful with this thunderstorm that we're flying into right now. I mean, I guess it's possible it's up north of Kalispell, because that is up north of here. Let's check our weather radar real quick to see what's up. Not too much going on. Looks like we got a little spotty shower up in the mountains way north, but not much is going on up there, so I don't know why they're showing that thunderstorm. Ooh, here's some turbulence. Really thrashing us around. Never had it this bad before. I'm gonna keep my hand on the stick just in case we have a problem. Little cloud deck just passed through, it looks like. Oh boy, we are heading right up into this storm cloud right here. We got through this okay. Probably not the best thing to fly into a storm. You can still hear a little bit of that thunder in the background, so that's not necessarily a good thing. Turbulence, wow. Ooh, there's a dark storm cloud right over there, really dark, wow. Boy, it is getting thrashed around out here, and flashed. So we're about 9,700 feet right now. We're climbing close to 2,000 feet a minute. Looks like we're about 1,800 feet up per minute. And we're climbing at just above 9,900 now, and we are now at 10,000, so I'm going to go ahead and shut off the landing lights. Which is standard practice. You usually shut the landing lights off about 10,000. And we're 39 nautical miles out, and I'm going to see if we have any approaches. Nope, we have no approaches for this airport, so that's the way that's going to be. through these storm clouds right now, and we're just now leveled out, flying through. It looks like it's really throwing us around up here. I mean, I guess you guys got lucky. You get to see some FSX thunderstorms, see how they actually work. The lightning in here is actually pretty cool. And then there's the road now over Glacier Park, and you can see there's Highway 2, and there's the road into Apgar Campground right around Lake McDonald. So you'd have Apgar Campground right in here. Those of you looking over here. Coram is over in here. Hungry Horse is up in here. You see a big flash of lightning right down here, so that was pretty cool. Looks like we're flying right over the top of it. Lots of lightning. Wow. Got the throttles pushed up to full power, so we're actually going to pull that back just a little bit. Clouds are getting pretty thick up here. Can't really see much. I was hoping I could give you guys an aerial tour of the park, but I don't think that's going to happen. It is so thick with those clouds up here. Yeah, it's clearing off a little bit above us. We're about 27 miles out, so we'll be starting our approach here pretty quick. You can see there's St. Mary's Lake right there. We'll be heading up to the north end of St. Mary's to land. So anyway, I guess on continuation of my last video, I guess I'll give you guys a quick cockpit orientation of the King Air 350 for those of you that have never seen this airplane. It's actually pretty well detailed. On the captain's side of the aircraft, there's most of your basic flight controls. You got the control yoke here, you got your throttles, your prop controls, your fuel condition levers, what do they call them, or fuel, let me see what's up here, fuel cutoff levers. You got one of your heading indicators. I think it's a backup heading indicator for your VOR, I believe. Your airspeed indicator in knots, ADI, which is artificial horizon. You have your turn indicator here, heading indicator, and I guess you could call it your GPS directional all in one. Your altimeter, your vertical speed indicator, and then you've got various other gauges up here, which I believe this one right here. I believe that's the temperature of, I want to say that's the engine temperature in Celsius. You have the torque on the engines right now, which is in Newton meters. You have your prop RPMs, which are just about red, or that's the tip of the needle, sorry. So they're actually up pretty high. We have the engines pulled back right now, not to quite 100, just 100%. RPM, let's see, there's the prop RPM, and I'm guessing that's RPM for the turbines that run the turboprops. Which a turboprop engine is basically like a jet engine connected to a propeller. That's all it is. Your fuel flow, which I believe is in pounds per hour, pph, and then you have your oil temperature and oil pressure, which is in pounds per square inch per psi, and temperatures in Celsius. So there's a mix of some American and measured units in the aircraft. You have your comms panel over here, COM1, COM2, NAV1, 2, and you have your transponder code for ATC, and then your ADF, which I can't quite remember what that's used for. Maybe someone can answer that for me. Leave a comment below and tell me what that's for, so I know for the next time. We have our altitude set with the warning indicator and the autopilot controls right there. So that's the main panel, and then we've got the lighting controls here for the landing gear. You got your prop, your heating, your plane heating, like your wings, stuff like that. Okay, 12 miles out, and we got our other controls over here. We got our battery, generator controls, avionics, ignition controls are down here, auto feather and stuff like that. And we have our fuel gauges over here, and our clock right in the middle, which I guess is a mission clock. Excuse me. So at this point, we're currently 10 nautical miles out. We're going to go ahead and start our descent into the area. I can see where the rivers are, just off to my right over here, a few miles away. We're going to go ahead and disengage the nav control so we can take the airplane and steer it towards that area, because the runways run parallel like this. We have 14 and 32. We're going to be coming on 32. So we want to be heading off towards the lake, paralleling the runway so we can see where that's going to be. Just over 600 miles. That's where we're going to pull our power back. Start getting us slowed up a little bit. Level off this direction here. And this is IFR conditions, definitely at this altitude. If we were in VFR, we'd probably be alright. So there's the lakes right there. So we're going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot completely and feed in some down trim. And we're going to go ahead and descend towards the runway. We'll power all the way back. And we're going to turn on our landing and taxiway lights just so we don't forget to turn those on. And we're going to go ahead and descend into the area. I can see the airport right there. It looks like we might have to make a swing pass. I don't think we're going to be able to make that at this distance. There's some thick clouds coming down here. Wow, look at this. Thick fog. We can break through that by the time we get down. There we go. Okay, and there's the airport right there. There's our runway. So we're going to make a swing, and we're going to come back in and land. So just bear with me. Actually, you know what? We'll take runway, since we took off the north side of Kalispell, we'll land on the north side of Babs. We'll go ahead and land on 14. So we don't have to make a full swing. So we keep the airport in sight. Probably a smart idea anyway. We want to line up about on course 320 to parallel the runway. And looks like we're doing pretty good right there. You can see our elevations up here. We're only 7,300 feet. And we're pretty high, so we are up here. So we're going to go ahead and drop the gear. Feed in a little bit more down trim here to keep the aircraft in a descent, and we're going to look for flaps for approach and set flaps for landing. So this is what pilots call the dirty configuration, where the gear are down, the flaps are down. Aircraft just looks dirty. It's not clean on the underside, so you get a lot of dirty air, as they call it, flowing over the wing to help you slow down and whatnot. A little bit too much down trim there, and we're also getting a little slow, so I'm going to add some thrust. Get some thrust here, and we'll come back around. Pitching it a little hard. Kicking just a little bit of rudder here to help you see. Okay, there's the airfield right there. Okay. We're holding about 120 knots. We should get in there just fine. I wouldn't worry about that. pitchy on the elevator. Looks like we're hitting some pretty rough turbulence here coming into land. So far looking pretty good though, considering. And there's the runway. And there will be some trees when we pop in here, so we're going to be careful. There are quite a few trees along the north edge of the runway. Yep, there they are. There's the trees I was talking about. They pop up on the scenery here pretty quick. And we're going to go ahead and bring it down slowly. So far looking good. Alright. Oh crap, there's a tree. Oh my god. That just popped up right there at the end. Alright, well we gotta settle her in here. Pick her up. And we have touchdown. And full brakes. Reverse thrust. And there's 40 knots. We can kill the reverse thrust. Throttle RPM's coming down. Looking good. So we just flew right through a tree back there, and I was for sure thinking we were going to crash. So we got lucky on that. Wow. And we came in luckily on a headwind, so that's actually a good thing we used that windsock correctly. So good. That's good. And this is pretty much it for Bab, guys. There's not a whole lot up here for this small town in Glacier Park. We are in Glacier Park territory right now, and this is the runway I'm taxiing on. You can see the differential between the runway here and the grass here. So there is a difference, believe it or not. We're touching down right about 4,550 feet, so we're pretty high up here. So we only dropped about 3,000 feet from where we were when we were descending, about 7,300, which was up over here. And one building out here, and no tower. So that's that. So we're going to go ahead and pull in right into a little parking area here. All good right here. Alright, set the parking brake, and we're going to go and pull our prop controls all the way back, and we're going to go ahead and shut down engine 1, and shut down engine 2. Okay, let's hit the IFR panel. We're going to turn our landing taxiways off, turn our nav and strobes off, turn off prop sync, beacons off. Turn off auto feather, avionics to shut down, generator 1 and 2, batteries off. Oops, just realized my flaps never came up. Those are up, and we're going to kill our battery system and open our main exit. And that's it. You can still hear we got the thunderstorm up here, so just made it in before we got some lightning around the field. So that was pretty close, and I guess that's it for today, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed this short flight in the Beechcraft King Air 350, also known as the Super King Air. And I've definitely enjoyed making this video, and you guys can definitely look for more to come. So until next time, guys, this is Captain Klaus from FS Flyboys. See you later.